and welcome to the Detail Hub. Today we're stepping back in time exactly 100 years and beyond. We aren't just looking at old metal and wood, we're looking at the mechanical soul of history. In the world of firearms, a century is a long time for a machine to stay relevant. Yet the guns we're discussing today aren't just sitting in museums. They are active in the market, highly sought after by collectors, and in many cases still perfectly functional. In today's market, these century-old relics have transitioned from surplus tools to blue-chip investments. Whether it's the rugged lever actions of the American West or the precision-engineered pistols of the Great War era, the value of these pieces is skyrocketing. We're going to break down the most iconic firearms that hit the 100-year mark, and more importantly, what they're going to cost you in today's economy. 1. The Colt M1911 Government Model. If there is a king of 100-year-old firearms, it's the Colt M1911. Designed by John Browning and adopted by the U.S. military in, you guessed it, 1911, any original production from the 1920s or earlier is a crown jewel. By 1926, the design had just been refined into the M1911A1, making these early transition models incredibly rare. Market price for a standard well-used 1920s era Colt 1911, expect to start at $2,500 to $4,000. However, if you find one with original United States property markings and a high percentage original finish, prices easily soar past $10,000. Early Black Army finishes or those with documented military provenance can reach upwards of $25,000 at high-end auctions. 2. The Winchester Model 1894. Known as the Deer Rifle of America, the Winchester 94 had already been in production for over 30 years by 1926. A 100-year-old Winchester is often a pre-war model, which collectors value far higher than the mass-produced versions from the 1960s. These are the rifles that built the American frontier. Market price: a functional 100-year-old Winchester 94 and .30-30 caliber usually sits between $1,500 and $3,500. If it's a special order variant, perhaps with a half magazine, a takedown frame, or fancy walnut stocks, you're looking at a range of $5,000 to $8,000. Mint condition examples from the mid-1920s are increasingly rare and are currently viewed as a safer hedge against inflation than many traditional stock. 3. The Luger P08 German Parabellum. Perhaps the most recognizable silhouette in the world, the Luger P08 is the pinnacle of German engineering from the early 20th century. By the mid-1920s, the Weimar-era Lugers were being produced by DWM and Vickers. These commercial models are a favorite for collectors who want precision without the extreme price tag of rare WWI combat-issued pieces. Market price: a 1920s commercial Luger in decent shooter condition will typically cost between $1,800 and $2,800. If you are looking for an all-matching WWI dated Luger, 1914 to 1918, which is now well over the century mark, prices jump to $3,500 to $5,500. Rare artillery models with long barrels and tangent sights can easily command $6,000 or more. 4. Smith & Wesson Model 10 Military and Police. The S&W Model 10 is the quintessential 20th century revolver. In the 1920s, it was known as the Hockey High Chain. 31 Nasaktanawim Fatiu Factor de Military and Police. These revolvers were the standard sidearm for police departments across the United States for decades. They are famous for their butter-smooth double-action triggers that modern polymer guns simply cannot replicate. Market price: the Model 10 is one of the more accessible 100-year-old guns. A clean 1920s-era specimen with the classic mushroom ejector rod head and original wood grips usually sells for $600 to $950. Rare variations like those with 2-inch barrels or those issued to specific historical police agencies can climb into the 1,500 plus territory. 5. The Springfield M1903. While the M1 Garand usually gets the glory, the Springfield 1903 was the bolt-action powerhouse that served through both world wars. By 1926, the low-number receiver issues were a thing of the past and the rifle had been perfected. Market price. For a 100-year-old Springfield in original military configuration, the entry price is roughly $1,200 to $2,000. If you find a national match version rifle specifically tuned for competition in the 1920s, prepare to pay between $3,500 and $5,000. Why the price surge? Why are these guns worth so much? It's a combination of scarcity, craftsmanship, and the C&R, curio and relic status. In the United States, firearms over 50 years old fall into a special legal category that makes them easier for licensed collectors to acquire. But more than that, it's about the material. You won't find any plastic or MIM parts here, just forged steel and hand-fitted wood. Owning a 100-year-old gun isn't just about the investment, it's about holding a piece of the past. Each scratch on the stock and each bit of fading bluing tells a story of a different era of